Well, the EA servers are down at the moment for some people I was seeing on Twitter, and they are down for me right now, so we're gonna not worry about what's going on here. I will have rewards for today's video. I finished rank 3 for the Bundesliga team of the season, so we got a tradable pack, but I opened it like a few hours ago, so I have my live reaction to it. It's just not recorded with me right now, so luckily we were able to do that, and I'm glad I did that earlier. I guess I'll just try one more time here, but a lot of info to talk about today. I'm not sure I'm gonna title this video yet, but it might be me complaining about the refresh content constantly right now. I don't know if it's just me. I am so tired of the refresh content, and yeah, I can't log it, so I don't have to just look at things on the PC for right now. I'll just go to that now. For this video also, we have got our first team of the season Liga and leak. There's literally one leak, so I didn't even bother like titling the video that way because it's just one player. And also an interesting EA statement we're going to talk about, and potentially our first Euro 2024 leaks as well here. So if you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. The link is in the description. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. Well, the first thing I want to talk about was the content today, because I'm sure you guys probably saw we got the 80 plus picks back again, 83 plus picks back again as well. However, the 83 plus picks are repeatable only 10 times, but 10 times is still a decent amount, right? And it's also one of 4. But the biggest issue to me is that when you open those 83 plus picks, you might be getting lucky and actually be getting things out of them. But most people in the replies and mine as well were like not very good. I mean, they're not as good as you would expect a 1 of 4 83 plus pick to be. I understand it's very anecdotal, but at least from what I can see, it does seem like they are not as good as they were, or that you would think that they are. But the 80 plus picks coming back out again, the fact that we are getting 81 plus and 80 plus picks just completely rinse and repeated for, I'm not kidding you, I think it's been 7 months. Let's count them all. I want to say it was like a little less than a month into the game we got our first player picks, say 3 weeks in. So say we're not going to count all of October, but say it was like most of October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 7 months. So counting like half of October, maybe count that for 6.5 months. We have gotten the same 2 upgrade picks recycled back and forth. Let's remind you guys as well, the pack weight is worse than it has been in previous years. So 80 plus picks aren't even as good as they used to be. And I think EA's way of combating that is like, hey, the requirements are only what, 6 or 7 golds now instead of like the full 11 like it was at one point. But it doesn't negate the fact that the picks are not that great, and they're the exact same we've been getting for 6 months. And it's not like the picks are the only thing coming out, you know? I don't want to sound like that, but almost everything we get now is just like, oh, we've seen this before. Oh, we've seen this before. Oh, we've seen that before. I don't know if it's just me, but where are like where are the new ideas? Since exchanges, that was actually a really good new feature added. Since then, I'm trying to think of like other great new SBCs that we've got in terms of upgrades. I don't know any. I actually don't know any of them. And you wonder why, if you're getting that stale feeling right now, despite there being a lot of content out, it's because we've seen everything by now. And I've said this before, but I'm not, you know, claiming I have all the right answers to all the stuff. Like, I don't. But whatever's going on right now, it feels just void of genuine want for the game to be engaging and good. It feels like that is just not what their priorities are at all. And it's more like, well, what can we give them? Let's give them that, and let's just do that, and then that the next day, and then we'll do that the next day. That's all things we've seen already like 10 times on before. So am I being nitpicky? Am I rambling? I am. I think most people are probably feeling similar to me, and if you are in the comments, let me know, and if you're not as well, then let me know too. I wanted to talk about this tweet first and foremost here. eafc Direct Communication tweeted this out: with Team of the Season campaign ongoing in Ultimate Team, Team of the Week and Player of the Month player items will no longer be added to EA Sports FC 24. Player of the Month voting and shared results will continue for the remainder of the Real World 23/24 season. Okay, I mean, once again, one of those things where it's like, why? I'm happy they told us, by the way. I've always been an advocate for, like, even if you're going to give us bad news, tell it to us, and then we know what to expect, right? Imagine, you know, they just never dropped Player of the Month cards at all the rest of the year. We kind of just said, what? I'm glad they told us. So I want to get that straight first and foremost, but at the same time, it's kind of like, why? I know Team of the Week, they said, was done for the year, but Player of the Month items, I guess I don't really get if they're planning on replacing that with something. If that was the case, maybe they would say, hey, expect more things coming soon for player SBCs, or, you know, etc, etc. Instead, it's just like, we're done with them, and they just don't even say why. And yeah, fuck Concept says, could just make Player of the Month cards that are in line with the power curve. They could, but they don't do it unless it's one of the biggest Premier League names. Otherwise, they just won't do it, which is baffling to me. I've never understood that. And they used to be like really, really good. I think FIFA 19, when they first started, FIFA 20, every player of the month SBC was like usually in the power curve pretty well. For the last couple of years, it has not been like that at all, and I don't get it myself. I don't understand it. But I appreciate them telling it to us though, because that to me is a good step. Even if you're gonna announce you're not going to do something, at least tell us you're not going to do it, because then we can be upset that you're not doing it. But we now know for sure and have clarity. So I'm happy about that. But I also would like to know why. I feel like if they told us why as well, that would then, there'd be like no complaints really if they just said they're going to replace it with this, or they were thinking about doing that instead. So that's kind of where my critique lies with that. But we have one League on Team of the Season leak right now, and it's Hakimi. So Hakimi's going to be in. The card stats and play styles are just a concept, but we have one leak, and that's this. So I didn't want to, say too much about it. Probably gonna have more tomorrow is my guess here. This was leaked like 4 hours ago now, and we've heard nothing about anybody else. So, okay, Hakimi's in. Then we got this leak here. It's really the first kind of any sort of rumors or information about the Euro promo, probably coming after Team of the Season. And this is what we got. So Lean Design is a designer for the leakers, and the info comes from Wet Design, who's a pretty reliable one. Says through Google Translate, so it's probably not exactly this, but there are many possibilities that the limited time loans will return in the Euros like the ones we had in FIFA 22 with the World Cup. So remember these with the red cards that were timed on the bottom that filled up everybody's clubs to the brim that you couldn't use in any SPCs? Looks like we could be seeing these return again. And I don't understand why on earth we're getting the same exact thing again, because nobody likes the last one. I was thinking like, okay, maybe casuals did because they got a lot of decent players. Remember the pack weight on the red ones was better. You could get better red players. I feel like easier, the World Cup versions. But that was also earlier on in the game where you could still use gold cards a little bit. Like gold Neymar is still good. Gold Mbappe obviously was still extremely good. Now during the middle of the summer, it's like there are no gold cards usable anymore apart from gold Mbappe, who always will be. But besides Mbappe, who most people with gold Mbappe won't even put that in their team, who is going to like use any of these cards? They're basically just gonna be challenge bait and like fodder thrown into random packs. Like I don't get it, and maybe they're gonna change things up and it will be a lot better. I'm just speculating, of course, but yeah, I hope they don't. If they do bring it back, I hope they don't keep it exactly the same as it was last year during the World Cup. And last confirmation, tier 1 leakers AC says 31st of May Ultimate Team of the Season does release, and then after that it's most likely Euro 2024 promo, since we already have some kind of new loans added. So it looks like AC's also saying that the loans are probably going to be returning here. And then last thing I think really we want to talk about here is a new pack was added, guys. It's the Prime Gaming pack. You're never gonna believe it. The pack is back and better than ever, and by better than ever I mean fucking terrible, because for some reason they do not care about this pack anymore. It used to be like fun to open. People got their Prime Gaming pack and it was like a couple 83 plus player picks in there, some like decent stuff, and now it's just an 8 rare gold player pack and 2 completely normal player picks, and that's all. I know I've complained a lot today. I know I have. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. And if you do, misery loves company, so thank you. But why? It just feels like everything they used to give us just like, but we can't do it as good as we used to because that was too good. It's like, bro, nobody can pack shit from this goddamn Bundesliga team. Somebody can go 20-0 in Weekend League and get a tradable 3-player pack from the Bundesliga team that's Tapsoba, Garasi, and Anton, and they went 20-0 for that. And then in the Reds, they can get shafted as well. It just feels like so many things are worse than they used to be, and that is so frustrating for the hardcore players like us. I've gotten a lot of comments recently being like, hey, aren't 93s and 94s like an incredible investment at 30,000 coins and 48-ish thousand coins, considering they're so much cheaper than their counterparts? And it's like, well, I mean, they definitely could be, but the reason we haven't seen any fodder rises almost at all, apart from like very specific times when we get a Team of the Season SBC release, the guaranteed TOTS SBCs, right? Even them, we're seeing smaller profits, but we're still seeing some. These guys haven't rose much simply because they're not dropping great player SBCs right now. Every SBC that comes out is 100,000 coins, and they're decent cards, but they're nothing too insane, too must-do status, right? Nothing quite like that. So until we get a leak like that, I don't want to even say do this, because I slightly wonder that they don't want to bring out SBCs like that because people would make more coins, because fodder would probably start to rise up, like 91s, 92s. They probably would start to rise up. You have Kowalski Lewandowski, Dunst, and Muslera, these three would go more up to this 32 to 35,000 coin price. Now, they would be more up there. Right now, you pack a 92 and it's like 20,000 coins instead of 35k, which is a giant difference over the course of 100,000 people in EA's eyes for like the coins on the market, right? So part of me thinks that they don't want to bring out great SBCs because they're like, oh my god, they're gonna make an extra 15k, and they shit themselves. Because where have they been since TOTS Live? Nowhere. We haven't seen any of them basically at all. So I don't know. I could be good, but you might have to hold forever, and you don't really want to do that with cards that are that expensive. Okay, I want to remind you guys as well that the reviewing the team video will be up on my second channel later today, I believe. So if you want to see that and see if your team got in and all that good stuff, then subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you. Let's begin with King Gaza's comments here. TBH, I'm just waiting till Fuddy's an 85 times 10 repeatable. The sad thing is that 85 by 10 repeatables are like one of the best times of the year, and it's not even going to be as good as it was last year. And even last year, it felt a little bit nerfed. Now we have women's cards in. It's going to be even more nerfed unless they bring out like every special card that's ever been in packs, which I would totally be down for. But last year's best of was like 100 cards, which sounds like a lot, but when 30 of them are really high rated, you probably aren't going to pack too many, so you get like the same, 30-ish bottom ones. Release 300 of them at once in packs. I don't see why not. It's August, it's late July. I mean, what is like the problem with that? And maybe they'll do that this year, especially with women's cards in. Maybe they will do that, but I think that that would be way more fun, and I'm worried that it's gonna be a team of 100 or whatever, a team of 75 special cards, and 85 10s pack weight is worse than it ever has been. So please, God, don't let that happen. The Monster says, I love the Bundesliga, so I figured Prem pack weight would be horrible, and I saved all my packs for this week. Looks like I chose wrong. FML. As the thing, you never know. Prem pack weight wasn't great, but it actually seems like it might have been better than Bundesliga for whatever reason. It's just market prices, right? Every Bundesliga card's like 1 million coins, it feels like. In Prem cards, there were quite a few that were not. So there's just no way to ever know. Like, if you would have asked me before the season began, I would say hold it for Bundesliga is probably a really good idea, because the pack weight probably will be a lot better. Turns out wasn't the case at all, because they're all expensive. Christopher Larson, I tried that Kane card, and honestly, he was not all that for me. You were, I think, the 4th or 5th person in the comments to say you tried Kane. Not one said he was insane. I think I got a couple of like, he's good but not worth the cost, and I think 2 or 3 said I didn't actually think he was all that. So take of that what you will, but my comment section, which has the average IQ of 175 to 210, Kane doesn't seem to be all that good. So Luke Terrell, in your video the other day, you read a comment regarding bots and rivals. I can confirm that 5 to 8 a.m. UK time, I have also come across this in Div 1. Always the same playstyle, and yes, they always have Kuman. Is this like some sort of collective hallucination? Like, what the hell is this? Apparently there's a bot going around, or multiple bots going around, that all use Kuman in their team and all cheat their way to victories in division rivals. Is there a Ronald Kuman glitch I need to know about? If any of you guys got the details, I need to know about this. All right. The most upvoted comment yesterday was from Creed. He says there's literally no reason to still be putting out 80 to 81 plus player picks at this stage of the game. Need to be up to 82 to 83 plus at this stage. You can't be doing 100 to 200 player picks and have not even one good pull from it. That's 1,600 players, by the way. Pack weight needs to be turned up too. It's TOTS season. The game sucks. Just give us something to be relatively happy about, and I couldn't agree more. If you play the game in FIFA 15, 16, 17, team of the season was not like this. This was the time where, even if it was just a fodder card, you were packing team of the seasons all the time, and they mostly were fodder cards, but they were still blues all the time getting pulled. Now, you could open an 85-10 during team of the season and not get a blue, which, mind-blowing. To say that would have been the thing if FIFA 19, you would have been insane. You couldn't open a 100k pack without getting a blue. If you open a 100k pack, you'd have been really unlucky to not get any blue in that. That would have been really hard to do in FIFA 19. Now it's like, open a 100k pack and get a blue, you're like, oh, I just got lucky. How things have changed. Oh, wait, look, we got on the game and it now means absolutely nothing. So that's great. What I did want to say though is I do have custom tactics that I really enjoyed, actually, that I want to give you guys probably early on this week. That'll be on this channel. The gameplay for it, I'll probably upload more gameplay on the second channel, but the custom tactics video itself will be on this channel. So I look forward to that. But other than that, let's just go to past me and open my rewards. Well, thank God that's over. Rank 3, we did get a tradable TOTS pack. I started off like 13-0 and ended up barely getting the 16th win in the last game, so I was struggling, but I did not choke. Fraud accusations have been cleared for now. But we have Bundesliga TOTS red player bricks to open. I don't even know who I want in here, but I'm just gonna rip them open and get Florian Wirtz in the 4th slot. Okay, Sancho or Ta? Which one's actually more expensive? I don't even know. Okay, Ta's like 20k more than Sancho, so we're just gonna go Jonathan Ta. I think that was that the worst 4 I could get. Can't be worse, please, please. And I might just leap off the nearest high rise. Garasi is a player that exists. Adeyemi is a sub, is decent. I'm just gonna go with Fodder though, probably, and take Kobel. So there's that. Let's go to our 3-player pack. Now maybe that's where our luck is at. Okay, here we go. Bundesliga Tots 3-player pack. I'm hoping for like 250, 350k plus in this would be incredible, but I just need to get like one better than, and that's Boniface. Okay, that's like 170 or something like that. So that I will already take, and that's just the one that pops up first. And it's Kobel. Who can even be in this still? I don't even know if anybody that's expensive can be in this still. Please, God. Adeyemi. Okay, well, Adeyemi's not worth really any more than 90 too much, but Boniface actually is not bad. That I actually will take. I think it's probably going to be like 250k, so it is along the lines of what I was hoping for. It's just, once again, no crazy pull in here, so it's kind of what you expect, but okay, whatever. It's over. Weekend League's done. I can go and live my life again without pure anxiety and depression. So thank you for being here. I love you, and I don't know what we talked about today, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love you all. Since we're push.